we'll begin and ask Coach Case for some general thoughts on the game. Then we'll take your questions just for the two student athletes, and then we'll excuse them back to the locker room. And then we'll finish up with some questions with Coach Case. Also a reminder that the locker room is open at this time. Coach Case?
Very good basketball game. We knew that South Carolina was going to be ready to play, and they were. I'd like to give them a lot of credit. Very talented team that plays very, very hard, and but just so excited for our team. You know, we always talk about happy locker rooms. And it's been obviously, been a very, very tough season for us, losing a lot of close games. But I just like to take my hat off to my team and just say, hey, I'm very, very proud of you guys. I love you guys, and let's keep moving forward.
All right, let's take questions for either of the student athletes. Raise your hand, and we have some remote mics that will get to you. Let's start right on the front row on the left.
For both of you, all season long, teams have kind of made runs at you, and sometimes you guys have been unable to answer. How big was that for you to see James's shot go in with like 14 seconds left? You guys had gone almost 4 minutes without scoring at that point, and that kind of pushed the lead back out to 5 and ended it.
James, would you take that first?
Oh, for sure. It's something we drew up in the huddle. And James, somebody that we trust with the ball in his hands, and we knew he was going to make the play from the huddle. He works on that. He's a hard worker, and we all just put our trust in him and told him to shoot the ball with confidence, and he did.
Same for Robert.
I can definitely say just practices, countless practices, seeing James make that shot. So, just trusting in your teammates, having each other back. It was a weak game, and he came in for us.
Other questions for either of the student athletes? If you'll raise your hand. Want to go again? Front row.
What's this been like for both of you guys the last few weeks with, Coach Davis stepping away and all the rumors about, who the next coach is going to be and all of that kind of thing, and, for this season not to have gone anywhere close to how you wanted it to go? How difficult was it to stay as focused and resilient as you've been? And then what does it say about you guys that you've played as hard as you have down the stretch?
Robert, did you take that first?
Just to touch on the difficult part, just not even this last few weeks, just this whole season for me, just coming back from my knee injury and just pushing through that and just having to learn how to walk and do things again. I just feel like that's been a big thing, and just keeping my head straight. I feel like in these last few weeks, I can just tip my hat at Coach Case, just keeping the outside noise outside. Everybody who was in the locker room, who's a part of our program, is what we focus on, and that's the positive energy, and that's just what it felt like these last few weeks.
And Jamin?
For sure. I'll just say it just shows the leadership we have throughout our team. Just everybody staying down from the freshmen to the seniors, and really just, everybody's following the game plan and listening to Coach Case, and we're following right behind him, and we love him, and we're right behind him.
Other questions? All right, let's go to the front row on the right side.
Guys, talk about playing loose. Obviously, tonight you guys looked about as loose as I've seen you guys play all season long. Talk about playing with house money, and how does that feel like coming into this tournament and get another shot at Tennessee, a team that you guys almost beat in Oxford back December 28th?
Is that for both players?
Yeah.
All right, Jamin, should you take that first?
I'll just say we just came in here with a clean slate. We knew it was going to be a new season, so the pass was a pass, so we're just trying to come here 0-0 and just take each game at its own. And really just come here. We're going to focus on tomorrow, starting now, and really just knowing that we played them to the wire in January. We just know we're going to piggyback off how we played them. We're going to watch the film and follow the game plan.
Robert?
Just what Jamin said, just following the game plan. And you talk about playing loose. I feel like we're a really good defensive team. And what Coach Case tells us all the time is just let our defense be our offense. So, we all go in there, rebound, we can get into the break, and I feel like that's what you guys seen a lot of, letting our defense be our offense. And also just trusting one another and just making sure that everybody in the program has confidence down to the athletic trainers, to the coaches, to the players, even to the managers.
Got time for maybe one more for either student athletes, anyone? All right, let's take the question on the far left.
For either of you, can you talk about Amari's performance tonight? I think he put up a career high and kind of ignited you guys offensively, especially on the three-point shooting side of things.
Is that a particular player?
Either.
Well, we have a volunteer.
I'll talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, he's such a hard worker. We see each and every day in practice. And we put our trust in him. He didn't play that much last game, so I know he came in here with a chip on his shoulder, and we need him. We're right behind him. He's our point guard, so we give him all the confidence, and he just shows it each and every day in practice, and it carry over to the game.
All right, we'll excuse the student athletes. You can return to the
Thank
locker
y'all.
room. Thank you.
Love y'all.
And we'll continue on with questions.
Okay, but excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got one more thing to say that I failed to mention. And like Robert Allen said, this team is like really, really close. But something happened during the course of the game that really just touched my heart. And that is, TJ Caldwell, freshman, really, really good player, very competitive, want to be out on the floor. Comes to me when James White was sitting on the bench with about 2 minutes to go in the game. He says, Coach, I want to win. We need to keep James in the game. Because I was getting ready to put TJ in. And he said, no, I want to keep him in the game. He said, Coach, I think he can help us win. And it's just like he saw something that nobody else saw. But he gave of himself and said, it's all about the team and not about me. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we won that game. Okay.
All right, questions for Coach? Let's go ahead and start on the front row on the left.
I think it was Morrell missed a three, and then James got that big rebound. It looked like the possession was getting a little frantic. You called timeout. Is that what you drew up? Was that play for James?
Yes, because we knew, again, that James White, we knew James White's always wanting us to run something for him because he knows one-on-one he can score. He's probably one of our best one-on-one players on the team. And so we drew that up. We thought that if he didn't make the shot, he was going to get fouled and be determined to try to basically lift us up that way.
Question on the front.
Coach, I want to ask you about Amari. How proud of you are you of him and his play today?
Very, very proud. Very proud. The last game that we played, he didn't play any in the second half, and he just seemed out of it. And so we met a day or so ago and just talked about every single thing and going forward what he needs to do for this team. We know that he can put the ball in the basket, and y'all saw that tonight. And, when we were in Disney early in the year, he was just got a man amongst boys. And we knew if he's locked in that he's going to have a performance like that. And he did.
All right, let's go to the second row on the left.
When there were reports today connecting Chris Beard with the job at Ole Miss, what are your thoughts on that report?
Yeah, I just want to defer all questions about the coaching search to Keith, our athletic director, and our administration, and I want to leave it at that.
Front row on the right.
Coach, looking ahead a little bit, you got Tennessee tomorrow. Have you talked to your guys already about preparing for that kind of environment? Obviously, this is Nashville, just a couple hours away from Knoxville, so it's going to be a lot of orange in the crowd.
The last word I left with the team before I came over here to the media was that, guys, they got real quiet. I said, Tennessee. And they started screaming and yelling. So they will definitely be ready to play. It's going to be a very competitive game, and we're looking forward to it.
All right, next question. Let's go in the back on the middle aisle.
Yeah, Coach, what do you remember from that matchup with Tennessee back in December, and what have you seen from them the past couple of weeks?
Vescovy. I'm going to say it again. Vescovy. Oh, I'm not repeating myself, but Vescovy. We've got to stop him. Yes, we got to stop everybody else, but we got to stop him because he makes them go. He definitely makes them go. And I tell you this, they're really, really good defensively, obviously very, very talented offensively, but I really, really think our guys are going to be really excited about playing Tennessee tomorrow.
Other questions? All right, let's come back to the front row in the middle.
Coach, similar question I asked the guys. Talk about, playing with the house money, playing as the underdog. This is March Madness, and we sleep in May, Coach. Talk about that mentality you guys have in that locker room.
Well, I'll tell you this, and that's why I love Ole Miss so much. They continue to encourage us. And those tough losses all during the course of the year, they kept patting us on the back and say, guys, that tide's going to turn. That tide's going to turn. When you guys get to that SEC tournament, you guys are going to be ready to play. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Don't let them get hot. Exactly. Took the words out of my mouth.
Hands up. Other questions for Coach? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.